and what they've just done in the last decade since I've been around here, it absolutely the parking. The parking is free now. All of that kind of stuff. Where years ago, it was a nightmare. Then Laz Fly took it over, and Laz Parking took it over, and they do an amazing job getting you in and out of here. The Cromwell PD, the fire department here. Everything's about safety and enjoying the entire week. And so that the other 51 weeks, there's nobody that has had a bad experience that's out there, that doesn't come back. They want more and more people to come back here. That's what's made this thing grow.
Right.
Because when Travelers took it over, it was almost dead. Basically, the PGA was going to move it to another state, and the Travelers wanted to keep it here. And you have to show that you mean business.
So we may have some weather later on in the week. I don't want to root for it. Obviously, I want nothing but beautiful skies, but I love how the whole grounds crew is like an army and takes care of any little situation. By the way, we just had an army mess with our studio while we were doing this segment. It's like we never even noticed. I turn around, they're done, Dibs. That was
done.
in and out. That was like a.
So we had a pillar.
Kurt's NASCAR.
We had a pillar, right?
Yeah.
We had a pillar come in here in less than this segment. Totally take down all the curtains.
Well, the Travelers, they looked at it and they're like, Dibs.
You can't see me enough.
They can't, right? They
got to
can't
see
Dibs
more. See his big old pumpkin head. That's right.
A big old pumpkin head with a huge pylon.
It was in my way.
That was blocking the big
I
pumpkin head.
I feel like we're in stripes, and the guy trips over and he goes, "Have that removed."
So they
did.
They did, and within literally 5 minutes, that thing is up and out of here.
And they are too. They're gone.
That's the way this place is. So if we get bad weather on a tournament day, or I remember we had I think it was 2019, we had a huge washout on Wednesday. The amazing job that the superintendent of TPC River Highlands and all the grounds crew does to get this PGA ready and keep it in PGA condition regardless of the weather, that's fascinating to me. Like the resources that they have and the army that they are is fun to watch, and I think it's kind of a game within itself. So no matter what weather we get, no matter what the situation is, the Travelers Championship has it covered in so many different ways. So.
Well, and just think about it. This year they had the whole cave-in.
The sinkhole.
And the sinkhole. Yeah. So they had to repair all of that. So that took months to fix.
You wouldn't even notice that.
You won't even notice that. And it'll probably be even more gorgeous than you've ever remembered. I mean, and this course is played differently with its members and throughout the year until like a couple of months leading up to it. And we'll talk to them about it. You have to start growing out the fescue. You have to start growing out the roughs around the fairways and things like that to make it PGA tournament ready.
Yeah.
And it's according to the PGA and the USGA. It's not according to here in Cromwell. It's their golf course. And when you're a PGA golf course, you play by their standards. You're told to do certain things, and they have to abide by that. So that's all. I think it's fascinating. Having been around golf courses the last like 20, 30 years, watching just even like right here. So over by behind the putting green and the driving range, that was never there. All those shrubs, all the monuments, all the memorials were never there. So now they have to be manicured, they have to be kept up and watered and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of this stuff didn't even exist years ago. And it's constant. It's constant growth. And, someone's got to take care of this stuff. I respect that there's somebody on the staff here that's got to look out after all of this stuff and maintain it.
Huge army. One of my favorite scenes is right after the final hole is played on any day. There is an army of John Deere
we love
tractors.
that. Oh, yeah.
And they go out and they do their thing, and they know exactly their marching orders. And it's impressive, man. They take care of it with the daylight they have.
The golf course.
Well, you only got like 30 minutes, and then the sun's underneath the horizon, and you got no light. So it's just top notch all the way around. They've dealt with so many different things over the years that I kind of invite Murphy's Law just to see how Travelers handles this one. Well, I'm sure they're going to handle it with flying colors.
I've told this story, and I tell it almost every year. If you've never been to a golf course and you've never come to a golf course early in the morning, the groundskeepers are up before sun up.
Yeah.
And that dew that's still sitting on the grass, sitting on the greens, things like that from the night before, they're literally squeegeeing that off of the green so that then the lawnmower guy or girl can come and cut the green the way it's supposed to be cut that day.
Right.
And so, a lot of this stuff like we just talked about the LA Country Club, they had to change some stuff from Thursday to Friday. Whether it's the hole placement or some of the other stuff that they just felt, you know what, this is making it too easy for these pros. And that's why it played a lot tougher the final 3 days than the first day.
So I got the field in my hand right now, Dibs. This is one of the best fields in the Travelers Championship
in their history.
In the history. I mean, we've got 7 out of the top 10. We've got Wyndham Clark, who just won the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy, the runner-up. You got anybody in mind, like you've been thinking about in the last couple of weeks, knowing that they're going to be at the Travelers Championship and you want to watch play?
Victor's here, right, Hovland?
Victor Hovland.
I got Hovland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Vic. I'd go with Chaufflet, but he just let me down, and I watched him.
Yeah,
he looks like he's on a. You know what? I think his biorhythms are on a kind of in a canyon right now.
I like seeing him play, though. I like when he comes to this tournament. He won last year. He was our champion. Rooting for the guy. It's really tough to go back-to-back years in the same course. Rooting for the guy, though. And he had, Thursday, Friday. He was looking good. He was a contender Thursday, Friday, but the U.S. Open course got him in the end.
Moving day, you got a flat tire.
I always like seeing our old friends, man. Ches Reavie is back,
Yep.
the former champion. Got to talk to Reavie, know that he's if we get the chance to talk to Ches Reavie is a diehard Diamondback fan.
Yep.
Not many out there.
And this is their year.
It was tough to talk to Ches about the Diamondbacks in the past. This year, I think he'd be wearing that Diamondbacks hat with pride walking around TPC River Highlands. Sahith, I heard is how you say it now.
Not Sahith.
Not Sahith. I heard it's Sahith Theegala.
Sounds better when we say it, though.
I like Sahith. He'll be back. Can't wait to watch him play. Really enjoyed him last year. He was the runner-up. If you don't remember last year, Sahith is in the sand trap against Xander Schauffele. I think he's down a stroke at that point. Went for the green, was not the right call. He ended up hitting the lip of that sand trap. Actually went behind where his ball went originally, so kind of a disaster 18 last hole he played
Well,
here.
and I know you were watching the U.S. Open, but for people who may have missed it, Rory McIlroy changed his entire game plan going into that country club, and that's why he nearly won.
Yeah.
Because instead of going for it, he played it safe.
Got you there.
And he almost won that major. So that's the key sometimes. You have to change your approach, just like we talk about in baseball, changing the approach going up to the plate. You can do it in golf, and you can win tournaments.
But this place, man, you are licking your chops at one of those big yellow softballs looking to hit a home run. I mean, 12, 13, get out the big sticks. You could be on putting for eagle. 15, get out the big stick, I say. Oh, you can play up if you want, but go for the eagle because you might be able to ace that sucker. There's just some tempting holes out here for you to lick your chops and go for it all. As you say, Groob says, you're rewarded for good shots, you're penalized for bad shots. However, I say go for the glory around here because I think that there are a couple of holes where you can eagle on and really separate yourself from the field. How about John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, 1 and 2? I'm looking forward to see John Rahm.
Yeah.
That dad bod, I want to see what that looks like in person. Plus, I thought that dude played the best on Sunday out of everybody. Of course, Wyndham Clark with the win, but I think he was 5 under yesterday just on that round alone. And a guy in the last couple of weeks, and we talked about this with Rich Beam at the PGA Championship, last couple of weeks he hasn't been able to find it. And I think a tournament like this, he can get it back.
So I was here when Jim Furyk shot a 58.
Lowest score ever.
Yeah, lowest score ever here at TPC River Highlands. And I think he birdied 8 out of 9 holes on the back 9.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to throw
run.
that in when you said you got to go for it on the back 9.
Yeah.
You just go for it. It's very attainable to go for shots on that back 9 if you're really pressing, and that's how he was able to shoot that 58 record-setting 58 here, Travelers.
I remember Ches
2016.
Reavie's championship round. I remember like it was yesterday because as soon as he hit a 27-foot putt for birdie on something that he could have totally played safe, didn't go for it like a lot of people on 9 where his positioning was after the drive. But he ends up going for it, getting that birdie, and going into I think he was going into Saturday, right? Because he like solidified, I'm definitely making the cut. I'm definitely going to make money here. And then it was kind of like a breath of fresh air or a big relief that he made that birdie and was able to win the tournament after that. So I do think that you can play it safe and you can get a top 25.
I was wondering how they got those giant tacks out of the ground. Now I see the tool.
Oh, we're back. Our NASCAR
Giant tool
crew
just like me.
is back, and
Yep.
they're taking the last remnants off the pylon. That
You
was
never
blocking
even, like,
Dibble's
they
big
never
head.
even saw it here. It wasn't even here.
That's
It's
right.
gone.
That's-
All right, we'll take a quick
That's
break.
what we do on Mondays.
We'll come back, do Dibbles and Bits, and then your favorite segment of the beginning of the week, who we had.
Oh, yeah.
How bad did we handicap over the weekend for you? It's the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive. We are live from the Travelers Radio deck, brought to you by Big Y.